It's 9 a.m. From Fox 35. This is Good Day Orlando.
And a good morning from us. Welcome to Good Day Orlando. The 9 o'clock hour puts a smile on your face. I'm Ronnie Lodge.
This is the big hour. I'm Amy Kaufman. Glad you're with us. Here's a look at some of the things coming up in this morning's 9 o'clock show. A health alert. Parents have a new weapon in the war against childhood obesity. Fox medical team has details on some new guidelines that pediatricians say will make weight loss less frustrating for mom and dad.
And if you thought hair trends were only for women, well, I got to tell you, think again. The latest hair craze has men. Look at this, transforming with a very bold, daring new style. We're going to have more of what they call the Merman hair trend coming up.
Merman hair trend. Okay, and more newlywed women are saying, I don't, when it comes to changing their last name. We're going to tell you why that is. The modern woman, plus David Martin.
You know, Amy, I gave a child Ryan's publicity photo, and that's what he came up with here at the Crayola Experience. Not too bad.
That's about it.
Kind of looks like you, Ryan Elijah.
It does.
Hey, we are just 25 hours away from the grand opening of Crayola Experience. We're getting ourselves ready here, celebrating exclusively here at Fox 35. This is one place you're going to want to bring your kids tomorrow and beyond on the 9 o'clock hour of Good Day!
Do you know today is kind of business New Year's Eve as well? Because for a lot of companies, tomorrow is 2016. This is
a good point.
The end of the fiscal year.
Are we getting anything new around here?
I don't know. Did you put in your request?
New weather guy? No.
Oh, man.
Hey, that's fine. I've told y'all before, this just speeds up the process of me going down to the Keys and playing it all out down that way. Relief.
You know I love you.
Yes, I know. All right, we got 70s. We got some 80-degree temperatures now for you. Brooksville out to Leesburg, right at around 80. Here's a live look at what's going on. Live weather radar Palatka now, 34 minutes out before we see some of the heavier cells here. The core of heavier rain now passing just through basically the south side of town there. But notice what's upstream here. Flagler County, southern St. Johns County. It's going to be interesting to see how all that plays out. It is on its way, and it's still maintaining, so maybe some rumbles of thunder, a little bit of lightning going on out there, and some heavy rain could be coming to a neighborhood near you right there over Flagler and southern St. Johns County. We'll continue to monitor the trends. Also some development now north of the Gainesville area. So again, wrap it up here for you. High near 92 p.m. rain chances around 40%, 89 by 5 and 82 by about 8 tonight. We'll take a look at the next several days. We've got solid 90s, lows through the 70s, and the rain chance right at around 40%. That's all for now. Over to you.
All right, Jamie, thank you. Happening right now, bold efforts getting underway to make sure that every homeless veteran in Central Florida has a home by the end of this year.
Andrea Jackson joining us live now with what officials say is really their goal to finish this off. She's moved inside the church. And Andrea, we know the numbers are staggering here.
Yeah, good morning to you, Ryan and Amy. When you take a look at those numbers, taken in 2011, Florida was second to California for the number of homeless vets. That number exceeding more than 1,000. We're inside the First Presbyterian Church here in downtown Orlando, where the Central Florida Commission for Homelessness is about to get underway with a meeting to reveal their plans to make sure every vet has a home here in Orlando and in Central Florida. Now, part of the plan will include compiling a registry of every single homeless veteran in Central Florida. Officials, along with volunteers, will spend a week next month searching camps, woods, other areas for homeless veterans. They will then give their information to the VA, which will then contact each veteran when a home becomes available. Full details of the plan will be announced here in the church this morning, and a large crowd gathering right now as they await the official word on those plans here to end homelessness here in Central Florida. And it's an important step in the right direction. Some people call it progressive, other people say it's aggressive, but it's not a win or an if. I should say it's not an if, but a win, and they hope to have this plan set in place by mid-July with volunteers and numbers set in place, and then hopefully by the end of this year they plan to make a bold move. And other cities like Salt Lake and Houston have followed suit with the same kind of plan. They've seen success in those cities. They hope to see the same kind of success here in Orlando. We've got a team here covering this for you, so we'll bring you more details at 5 o'clock. For now, I'm live in downtown Orlando. Andrea Jackson, Fox 35 News.
Thank you, Andrea. Also developing this morning, testimony now underway in the trial of a man accused of collecting child pornography. Seminole County prosecutors say 30-year-old Sean Thomas traded and even cataloged sexual images of children on his computer. Fox 35's Jackie Orozco is joining us live. She is outside the courthouse there in Sanford with more on this. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, Amy. Yeah, the trial just started. We have a crew inside. Now, 30-year-old Sean Thomas is on trial for having child pornography. According to prosecutors, he had 60 images on his computer. He's also charged with attempted kidnapping and attempted murder. Now, he's not on trial on those charges just yet. Investigators say some of those images, those explicit photos, there were children as young as 5 years old on his computer. Now, yesterday, an investigator and an Orlando police officer took the stand. Now, if convicted, Thomas may be facing up to 15 years in prison on each count. Again, he's also charged with attempted kidnapping, attempted sexual assault, and attempted murder. This after investigators say he claimed to be a filmmaker and lured a 9-year-old girl and her parents to his Longwood home with a plot to make a sex tape with the little girl and kill her entire family. Again, Thomas is not being tried for those charges just yet. So day 2 of the trial for the child porn charges is just underway, and I'm being told that this trial could be wrapped up as early as Thursday. For now, reporting live here in Seminole County, Jackie Orozco, Fox 35 News.
Jackie, thank you for the update this morning. 9:06, and we have this new from overnight. Orlando police investigating what they say could be a random shooting, and Luann has the latest details on this in the Breaking News Center. Hi, Luann.
Ryan, good morning to you. It happened around 3 o'clock this morning on Wolcott Place. That's near the 408 and John Young Parkway. Police say several people, including children, were inside this home at the time. Now, according to police, there were no witnesses and that shooter got away. The good news is no one was hurt. Orange County deputies need your help finding a missing man who suffers from Alzheimer's. Deputies say this man, 65-year-old Jose Lopez de Jesus, walked away from his home on Appaloosa Road last night. Now, he also suffers from diabetes and a heart condition, and they say he did not take his medicine with him. If you know where he is, you are now being asked to call the Orange County Sheriff's Office. And Eustis police are searching for this man. He is 39-year-old Johnny Reeves. He's accused of hitting a 4-year-old boy on his tricycle back on June 3rd and then just taking off. That boy did survive, and he is now recovering at home. Police say Reeves was driving without a license because it was revoked for DUI. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is being asked to call police. And the U.S. Coast Guard is looking for debris from that Falcon 9 rocket that exploded right after liftoff Sunday morning. That debris field is in the Atlantic, about 150 miles east of the Florida-Georgia line. SpaceX says an overpressurized fuel tank caused that rocket to blow apart. Now, the company also revealed that a destruct signal was sent by the Air Force safety officer, but not until 70 seconds after that mishap as a precaution. The company is now reviewing all of the video and pictures of that launch frame by frame to try and figure out what exactly caused that malfunction. Debris from that rocket is expected to wash ashore in the coming days. Ryan, Amy, back to you.
All right, thanks, Luann.
Well, let's flash forward now to tomorrow. It'll be July 1st. We talked about the new year for businesses. Also the new year for a lot of governments. New laws going into effect here in Florida.
One of those more serious measures will impact women who are seeking abortions, but a judge could decide today to stop that controversial law from taking effect. Beginning tomorrow, women wanting to terminate their pregnancies must have 2 face-to-face doctor visits 24 hours before they undergo an abortion. The American Civil Liberties Union of Florida has filed an injunction to stop this law from going into effect. A judge is scheduled to rule on that injunction today. Also, other laws that will go into effect tomorrow include loosening regulations on breweries by allowing them to fill half-gallon beer growlers, requiring all American flags flown by government offices to be made in this country, and banning law enforcement agencies from using ticket quotas.
Much more still ahead coming up on Good Day. Parents have a new tool now when it comes to keeping their kids' weight in check. It's the one that many people battle for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The Fox medical team is going to take a look at a brand new instruction manual for weight loss. That story is still ahead. Also, a new trend from married ladies. Why so many of them are saying, you know what? I'm just going to keep my maiden name. Plus, David Martin.
Amy, 70,000 square feet. That's how big the new Crayola Experience at the Florida Mall is. Areas to last the entire day, including Scribble Square, where you have to get your magic markers and your chalk from the Crayola company, and you just scribble, have fun. Oh, yeah, you're watching #GDO with Amy and Ryan. Don't go anywhere. We're back in a moment.
Hold on.
on the Health Watch this morning, call it a brand new instruction manual for weight loss in kids.
Pediatricians releasing new directions for parents, hoping to help kids get healthy, minus all the frustration that comes along with it. The Fox Medical team's Dr. Joe is following the story, and she's joining us live this morning to bring us up to date on this new research. Good morning, Dr. Joe. Great to see you.
Good morning. Great to see you too. Yeah, the American Academy of Pediatrics, they have this instruction manual hoping to keep your child at a healthy weight. And part of that is going to include this stuff, aluminum foil. We'll get to that in a second. You know, it all starts with some simple concepts. It's not going to cost you any money. In fact, it's going to save you money. Buy less of the bad stuff. You want to avoid those sugary drinks and all of those high caloric snacks. And that's really the #1 thing. You've got to read the label. Sometimes the front of the container is deceiving. Look for the added sugars, high fructose corn syrup. Look for the portion size. Make sure that whatever they've got on there is reasonable, because then you can calculate those calories. They may be very different than what appears on the back.
And Dr. Joe, if I can interject here, don't take the kids to the grocery store with you if you can help it. Leave them home with the hubby or a babysitter or grandma, because I'm telling you, that's part of what makes it so hard. Is they just start, can I have this, can I have this, can I have this? You know how it is. It can be very distracting.
It is.
Yeah.
And you know that they're placed on those shelves in the perfect spot for your child to see them and say, I want that.
Exactly, exactly.
Right. And the other thing is they're saying if you are celebrating something, it's a birthday party, it's some sort of an event, and you do buy those high calorie snacks, make sure you just buy them right before the event so you're not snacking on them and picking on them beforehand, and then try to get rid of them or hide them right afterward. You know, and I said this before, I really suggest to-go plates. You know, I remember giving a function or a party one time, and I just had the to-go plates right there, and I said, okay, before you leave, take this with you. And I really think that helps, because you kind of get rid of it. And then the other thing is that you have to have those healthy foods, your apples, your fruits, all of those things should be readily available. So they're in plain sight. So they're going to see these colorful things and want them. And of course, you're going to want to hide all the bad stuff. So you want to make sure that the good stuff's on the kitchen table, the front shelf in the refrigerator. The bad stuff, you want to cover it up. Maybe put some aluminum foil on it so you can't see through it. Put that in the back of the refrigerator or the back of the pantry, because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind, correct? Yeah. And then the last thing, of course, is going to be to just emphasize those 5 fruits and vegetables every single day. And you know, that's a great healthy habit for kids to learn, because it's going to help them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and it's all about setting a good example yourself, wouldn't you say, Dr. Joe? Not only with that, but when it comes to exercise and how much time we spend on our electronics, all those things, we have to set the example.
We really do, and that can be really, really tough, because, you know, it's difficult when you're home and you're trying to work, but certainly decreasing the screen time for your kids, making sure that they're not on the computer, keep their telephones away from their bedside. They need at least 9 hours of sleep, some more, just depending on their age. If they don't get the required amount of sleep or recommended sleep, they're increasing their risk for obesity and lots of other things. Of course, you know, learning problems in school and many, many other things go with that. And that exercise, 60 minutes a day, they really are pushing that. They say get it any way that you can. It may be just going to a park, walking around the block, going up and down stairs. Just try to figure out a way and be creative to get that in. And again, the whole family, if they're all doing this, the whole family is going to feel better and feel healthier.
Yeah, make it family fun. Make it part of your daily routine as a family. It's great advice. Dr. Joe, always a pleasure. Thank you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
All right. Jamie King, you're good about all this stuff.
All righty, here we go, guys. Let's bring you up to date now again to take it out back. It's downtown O-Town, looking good, and we have got, again, bright sunshine. A little bit of cloud cover. Clouds really hanging tough now north of town, way north of town, up toward Putnam County. I'll show you radar and how some of that rain may actually move into Flagler County, and we'll take a look now at temperatures. Basically, kind of mixed up, tossed about through the 70s, some lower, maybe even some mid-80s. Tampa, for example, now at about 85. Got some lightning, tracking that, and a big cluster here. You can see that trails out just north of Gainesville. This could nip the northern side there, the northern fringe of the city of Gainesville, as this stuff continues moving bodily out to the east at about 10 to 15. So I'm thinking folks downstream probably picking some rainfall up here as we go through about the next hour or so. It certainly is a little bit something we've got to watch here. Nothing severe, nothing too crazy out there, just some beneficial raindrops about 12 minutes out into the heaviest rain courses through the city of Palatka and there toward Putnam County, crossing over the St. Johns River and making a move out toward Flagler County. through the I-95 corridor. Outside of that, pretty quiet. Had an active scene early this morning. Could see showers and storms refire after about the noon hour. Some daytime heating, favorable winds to lift that stuff off the western edge of the state and force it back east. So we'll go with a high in the low 90s and a PM rain chance, I think, probably in the order of about 30% interior, a little higher over the east side beaches, because that's where everything's going to kind of cluster up when it's all said and done. Model forecast indicating just that, basically spitting quite a bit of rainfall our way over the next 24 to 48 hours until the pattern begins to change. And we think those changes come in the form of higher pressure moving toward the state. Where it sits now, it's down to our south and west, a very favorable pattern for AM and PM rain. But in the coming days, the high there is going to do the old cut and paste and put itself squarely in the middle of the state. And that's going to help to kind of reestablish rain chances with development over the middle of the state versus this business of west to east. And it'll also yield some rainfall. I think we'll find some rain on Independence Day on Saturday, but clearing skies just in time. The big Red Hot and Boom event, the 20-year anniversary of it now, the 3rd of July, till Friday evening, clearing skies, your sundown time at about 8:27. So if you're heading out there, looking good, enjoy, be safe as we celebrate the birth of our nation. Okay, for today, it's all about the 90s, same at the coastal areas. Best chance of rain will actually be along the coast at about 40% compared to 30% interior. By tonight, sun goes down, rain goes with it. Looks like 70s, real muggy into the overnight hours. Coming 7, bringing the same weather. The only thing that changes, and there are subtle changes as to where the rain is going to develop, where it establishes itself, and where it'll wind up, probably around the coastal areas. Highs through the 90s and overnight straight up through the 70s. That's your forecast, guys. Over to you.
All right. Thank you, Jamie. Well, there is a growing new trend among newly married women. They are opting against saying I do to changing their last name. According to a new analysis by the Upshot blog and the New York Times, about 30% of women in recent years have now decided to keep their maiden names in some way after they get married. The survey found 20% keep their last name full, while 10% opted to hyphenate the two names. The newspaper reports that women most likely to keep their names are higher income and live in urban areas, while other women say it's just because it's been their name all their life and they just can't imagine changing it. The gang's all here to chat about it this morning. I think this is an interesting topic because, you know, I've seen women do it a variety of ways. Right. A lot of women will drop their middle name. Luann, have you seen this? They drop their middle name and then they make their middle name their maiden name and then they change their last name. So, for instance, you know, it would be, you know, Mary Jo Smith. And then she would change it to, then she would keep the Smith and she would change it to Mary Smith Johnson. Yeah, it makes sense.
My best friend did exactly that, Amy. And you know what? I really get this because women are starting to get married later in life. And I mean, once you've had your last name for so long, it starts to feel comfortable, right? It's like a nice warm sweater.
But Jamie,
it fits you.
Like a nice warm sweater.
You know, but I wonder how the guys feel about this because, you know, I question if I get married again, would I take someone's last name? And then I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'd hyphenate it, but would you be offended, guys, if a woman didn't take your last name?
Let me tell you about that nice old sweater. It's going to take some getting used to. Because I think there'd at least be a discussion. Why don't you want to take my name? You know, or are you worried we're not going to last long enough to go through all the paperwork?
Right.
If there's a good reason, yeah, you bet.
Is that the traditionalist in you, though?
I think it's
kind
traditional.
of the old tradition?
That's what you do. And
what's the good reason, though, Ryan? What would be a good reason in your opinion?
You could be a female athlete. You could have a name that was with your business. There could be a lot of things. Reason not to change your name. You could be a news anchor.
Yeah.
Those are all great reasons.
I don't think it's an issue of not being loyal to the one you're going to marry, the guy, but I think women, at least in the modern age now, tend to be, whether they're married or not, they tend to be a little more kind of independent. Not to say that we're breaking up the cluster, that unit of man and wife and the great marriage, but kind of women are kind of, I guess, in a roundabout way, kind of doing their own thing, at least up here. You know, not, you know what I'm saying?
What does that mean?
Up here.
I got
you know what another great reason could be? He's got a terrible name. I mean, there are some names you don't want to attach to your name.
That's a good point. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. But Luann, okay, you know, and I know, we have a lot of girlfriends who they end up keeping their last name because they marry someone and they're like, oh, I can't take that last name.
Yeah, and you know what? Another issue, though, is the kids. If you have your same last name, do you hyphenate the kid's name? It gets confusing. And then they have to learn to spell that long old name. I don't know.
No, I'm with you.
Here.
I have another girlfriend who got divorced and her children did not want her to change her last name. They wanted her to keep it the same as what theirs were. Oh. So she has the same last name as her divorced husband, but she's married to a new guy. So that's awkward too.
Yeah, that's very awkward.
Yeah. I tell you, it's a mess.
Modern day problems.
Yeah, exactly. These are the things we have to worry about. Thanks for chatting with us, guys. 9:22 right now. All right, it is tons of colorful fun. You know what we're talking about.
And that means David Martin is getting a shot at that fun. Sneak peek at the brand new Crayola Experience. We've got him away from coloring for a brief second.
Ryan, Amy, 25 hands-on attractions here at the brand new Crayola Experience at the Florida Mall. For example, drip art. You take an empty piece of paper like this, you put some melted crayon on it. Ladies, turn around, show the audience what you made. How cute is that? Put that on your wall. Over here, we have melt and mold, where you actually put a crayon. Go ahead, Manny, show us what you got there. You put a crayon into the machine, you close the door, and boom, it gets real hot. It starts melting it, and you can walk home with one of these 4 artifacts: a ring, a shark, a car, or a lobster maybe? I can't tell what that is. A seahorse, of course. Back in a moment here on Good Day Orlando.
A lobster.
Well, Taylor Swift to bring us back here at 9:26.
I love a little Taylor Swift. You know what? Here's the thing. I think people who say they don't like Taylor Swift secretly like her, they just don't want to admit it.
I don't mind admitting I like Taylor Swift.
You know, other people are like, they just think it's cool.
Yeah, and whoever writes her songs is really good, too. Keeps coming out with good stuff. Glad you're with us on this Tuesday morning. Discover the magic of color. We're talking about the Crayola Experience.
There, the kids can get their creativity on and have a great time. And David Martin is joining us live this morning to show us what you can expect. The big grand opening is tomorrow. Is that right?
Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, Amy, and I'm already out of breath. I'm exhausted from running around this 70,000 square foot attraction. Is so fun. Your kids are going to love it. You walk up the stairs when you come here to the Florida Mall. It's in the former Nordstrom's. You make your own crayons. You wrap them, you name them. By the way, I should tell you, this store, this experience has its own signature color. And my friend Kellyanne Suarez, what is that color? Good morning.
Orchid.
Orchid.
Our crayon is Orchid. It's a big purple crayon. He loves hugs. He loves to say hi. He'll be here on the floor saying hi to kids tomorrow. And of course, our marker, Itty Bitty Blue.
God, that's adorable. That was Ryan's nickname in high school. All right, so what do we have here? This is called Be a Star.
And I thought since you're here, if you wanted to star on a coloring page with me, I'd really appreciate it.
Let's do it. Should we sit down right here on the bench?
Sit at the bench.
Uh-huh.
So you can pick your background. Obviously, we're doing something sassy.
Boom.
We're going to go. Countdown. 3, 2, 1. Hi. And what does it do? You are the star.
I look scared and creepy.
Coloring page.
Oh, and we take that over the table here, and we can spend all day long coloring that, right?
That's right.
Well, I tell you, this is one of those attractions you can spend all day in. That's the idea.
Most of our families do spend on average about 5 hours with us.
All right.
We're creating family fun, family memories, and it's an entire day long of color.
There's trivia everywhere, Amy. I think you'll get a kick out of this. Look at this, 1958. That's when the 64 box came out with that crayon sharpener at the bottom. We all grew up with that. Do they still make that?
Yes, we do. We actually have a signature Orlando box. It's a box of 96 degrees of color, sold in our retail store, which is open to the public, mall hours. You know what? I think I can get you one of those boxes. Sharpener in the back. Wouldn't forget it.
I think Amy wants that. All right, good morning, everybody. How are you? Woo! Where are we? What is this room? Good Lord.
So this is Art Alive. This is where we're going to bring our art alive. So here, you can pick your animation. I'm going to pick a turtle. Let's just say we're going to do that, right? Color it in. When you hit go, you're going to be able to choose 2 different animations. And you know what it's going to do? It's going to animate to your shadow.
To my shadow?
To your shadow. So if we go over here, you can see some of our kids are already playing. Those bubbles, those are the bubbles that he chose for his turtle. How cool is that?
Really funky. I love this. What is the website, Kellyanne?
Oh, CrayolaExperience.com.
What's it cost to get inside?
It's $19.99, and if you buy online, you're going to save $3. And our best value, the annual pass, $29.99 for an entire year of family fun. And you can actually put that first day admission toward the purchase of your annual pass.
That's great. Come look at our faces, Paolo. Look at the color. Look what happens to our faces. You see this? Is that working?
I think he wants to bring his art alive.
That is so neat. I'm loving this. Hey, can we get a round of applause for our friends here at Crayola Experience? Absolutely. Moms and dads, and how much fun is this? Grand opening tomorrow, 10 o'clock. We'll see you there. Back to you, Ryan and Amy.
All right, that's a really good deal. So $19.99 to get in. But if you pay $29, you can go all year.
Go all year. Go for an hour at a time when you want to go.
Absolutely. Especially right now, it's so hot. You're looking for something indoors to do. It's perfect.
Great for the creative kids as well. All right, 9:30 this morning. Ladies, do you need to maybe do a double take? You might the next time you see your man. Where do you see this story coming up?
All right, coming up, the bright new hair trend that is really transforming the way some men look. I don't really see you trying this.
I don't see this either.
No.
I see this.
Yeah, that I see in your future. Plus, July 4th savings at the grocery store. The Savings Angel is joining us this morning with your holiday deals and steals. That's coming up next.
You're watching Good Day Orlando on Fox 35.
And we're back. So glad you're with us on this Tuesday morning. I'm Amy Caulfield.
I'm Ryan Elijah. It is 9:33. A lot to bring you, a lot to catch you up to speed with as well. A lot of the headlines making news this morning, starting with an elderly security guard remaining in a medically induced coma. This after authorities say he was brutally beaten. 78-year-old Salvatore Genova was found bleeding with fractures all over his body. This was on Friday night. Police believe he was beaten by 42-year-old Jason Maduro at an apartment complex in Daytona Beach. Maduro turning himself in the next day. The suspect claims the two began fighting after Genova accused him of smoking marijuana. Because Genova is in a coma, authorities right now only have the suspect's word to go on. Maduro now facing several charges, though, of aggravated battery.
The murder trial for Luis Toledo has now been delayed until next year. The Volusia County man is accused of killing his wife, Yesenia Suarez, along with her two young children, Michael and Thalia. The family vanished 2 years ago, but their bodies have never been found. Jury selection is now set for January 4th.
And the Orlando International Airport adding new nonstop flights to Europe. You can now catch a plane to Northern Ireland as early, actually, as this week. According to our news partners at the Orlando Sentinel, international carriers Virgin Atlantic and also Thomas Cook Airlines are going to start flying to Belfast. So pretty cool development there.
All right, time now for your morning business headlines. And joining us live from the Fox Business Network studios is the lovely Lauren Simonetti. Hi, Lauren. Good to see you.
Hi there. Hi again. Good morning.
All right. So obviously shaky day yesterday. How are the markets looking so far this morning?
A lot better. The Dow is up more than 100 points, thank goodness, because yesterday was the worst day of the year. Economic data coming out stateside, but that doesn't matter. Everybody's focused on Greece and whether they'll pay the $2 billion more or less that they owe the IMF tonight. 6 o'clock p.m. is the deadline. I'm a little bit nervous for tomorrow.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, yeah, it's just been such a rocky week. You don't really know what to expect.
Right, exactly. And everyone's scared of contagion, right? If Greece says, no, we don't want to be in the euro anymore, we don't want these tax hikes and pension cuts and all of that, well, Ireland, Italy, Spain, Portugal, etc. say the same. Europe's our friendly trading partner, our biggest trading partner.
Okay. All right. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. This is interesting. So the president wants more workers to get overtime, but we're talking about folks who are already on salary, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately, some of these workers don't make that much money, even though they are salaried. So the president wrote an op-ed in the Huffington Post, and we'll get an outline of this later this week. He says 5 million plus workers who are salaried right now only get time and a half pay if they make, for the most part, under $24,000 a year. He says that's not enough. Let's boost that $24K up to $50K. So that means for restaurants and retailers and businesses and all bosses out there, for every salaried worker that makes $50,000 or more, you're going to have to pay them extra for every hour beyond 40 hours.
Oh, wow.
That's a cost equation for businesses. It's great for the workers if they can keep their jobs. The businesses might cut back on workers. They might raise prices for consumers. There could be a whole bunch of ramifications.
All right. Yeah, that's another watch and see. Okay, Lauren Simonetti, always a pleasure, doll. Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Okay, if you'd like to see more of Lauren, you can find her on the Fox Business Network. If you're not sure where to go to foxbusiness.com/channelfinder. 9:37. Let's turn it over to Jamie King.
Good morning, Amy. Let's bring you up to date. 9:37. A little quick AccuWeather forecast update for you now. 77 Melbourne, same at Titusville. Other side of the state now, sporting some low-grade 80s for us. Starts at about Orlando, out toward Leesburg, and now the North Shores of Tampa Bay. So this has been interesting now. Still watching this big slug of rainfall, trying to make it a move here in the northern portions of Flagler County. Again, I've been telling you this over the last hour and a half since its inception back here towards Gainesville, rapidly moving from west to east. If and only if it holds together, you might see some raindrops out in Palm Coast area along the beachfront there right now, moving through the city of Palatka and Putnam County. And again, a general line drawing a bead on portions of northern Flagler County. To the west of all this, we've got some extra development. Looking for more development over the deep interior for the afternoon, with everything moving back out toward the East Coast beaches as we endure the early afternoon hours. So a high near 92, PM rain chance in that range of about 30 or 40%. Westerly airflow helping to drag that stuff from the Gulf side of the state back toward the East Coast beaches. And again, we'll continue to see that pattern slowly shifting up, subtle changes as we head toward the end of the week with rain development in somewhat different places. We'll break the details down in my full forecast coming up. But again, 90s for highs, 70s into the overnights with each and every day seeing a rain chance right around 40%. Let's send it over to Ryan now.
Jamie, sounds good. Want to talk deals and steals with our savings angel, Josh Elledge. Good to see you, Josh, as always.
Yes.
Tell us what we have here, kind of a summer theme.
Yeah, we do, absolutely. And so each week, you know, Ryan, I go out and I do some shopping, and I kind of take an engineering approach to finding the absolute best deals on everything. We have a huge database of coupons, and so what we want to do is help Good Day viewers get the best deals each week. I'm going to start off with a couple of deals over at Publix I think are the best deals that you want to get if you have a doggy, and your doggy doesn't mind Purina One dog food.
How can you not?
Sure. $8.49 is the regular price. It's expensive. It is. They've got a buy one get one sale, which is really great. And then this is really great. There is a $3 coupon.
Wow.
Apply that to the buy one get one sale. Ryan, your final price on Purina dog food this week at Publix, $1.25 a bag.
Tough to beat that.
Excellent. Mustard? Are you a mustard guy?
I'm not.
No.
You can have both of them.
It's funny. It's like people are either in two camps. They're either not.
I'll put it on a hot dog just a little bit. That's it.
Okay, good. Well, this might make it more palatable. Normally $1.99. It's another buy one get one sale at Publix. We've got some great coupons. Your final price could be 50 cents for a bottle of mustard. Sure. By the way, I recommend stocking up on all of these items as well, including this one. This is a great deal you can get at CVS. It's on sale for $1.50 there, but for the Starbucks refreshers, all their Starbucks drinks, we actually have a $1 digital coupon you can use with your mobile app, and you can get this for 50 cents. By the way, all the coupons, everything I'm referencing, all online. You just go to My Fox Orlando.
Scribbling it down, we've got it on the website.
Excellent. Good. Yep, that's exactly it. And then also next, a free toothbrush. So this one's at CVS, on sale for $2.99. They're going to give you $2 back at the register. Of course, we've got coupons. Going to make it free. And then also CVS, normally $2.69 for your Frank's Red Hot Sauce, $1.50 is the sale price. We got a $1 coupon. And at Walgreens, sunscreen. This is Banana Boat, which is really expensive stuff. Normally $11, on sale for $8.24 because it's a buy one get one 50% off.
Nice.
We've got some great coupons. You can get this for as little as $4.24. And then finally, while you're at Walgreens, go get the scope because you can get it for free. Yep, normally $3.99, $2.99, and they're going to give you $2 back at the register. We've got a $1 coupon, making it free. I went through everything so fast, Ryan, so you want to make sure, grab the coupons that we've got all printed out for you at My Fox Orlando, or you can go to my website, savingsangel.com.
Great stuff as always, Josh, and a diverse amount of products here as well. Hey, let's send it back to you. Some great deals. All you have to do is go find them.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Still ahead this morning, Katy Perry feuding with a group of nuns. Why they're actually fighting over a convent. Plus, big shakeups on Forbes' highest paid celebrities list. We're going to have the details when we check out what's hot in Hollywood. It's coming up. Also this morning, move over, ladies, because more men are starting to get into the colored hair scene in a big, bold way. Check this out. We're going to check out the new Merman hair trend. That's coming up next. All right, welcome back. If you thought hair trends were just for the ladies, well, think again.
Apparently so. The latest hair craze has men transforming their looks. We're talking about a bold, daring new style. That might not even sum some of these up. Let's go to Lou to take a look.
We're going to see if we can get you to try this, Ryan.
We'll see.
We have all seen the ladies rock the color ombre, right? But now the guys are adding colors to their locks, too. Take a look. It's called the Merman hair trend. Now, the look is made up mostly of cool-toned colors like blues and greens, but they're even using pinks and purple here. And unlike hair trends for women, this one affects more than just hair on the heads of men. Yeah, some guys are even adding pops of color to their facial hair. But guys, if you're thinking about trying this trend, just know that it's not an easy look to achieve. You first have to bleach your hair blonde, and then you have to dye separate strands or chunks, or you can opt for an ombre look with various
to go to
colors.
a party? Are these people doing it all the time. This
Here's
is their
my
hairstyle.
thing with this. If you're in your 20s, give it a shot. Go for it. Have fun. If you're in your 50s, you may want to leave this trend alone.
You might
know
be
what
in the boss's office by the end of the day saying, what's going on here?
You'd have to have a non-traditional job to pull something like this off, don't you think?
So. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But it's fun. If you're 21and you're working, you know, in the surf shop, why not?
There you go. Perfect.
Oh, Jamie's offended now. I said surf shop.
So offended about everything. Let's just
weatherman can get away with that hair.
Good morning, Lou, Ryan, Amy, everybody at home. Here we go again. We're all about the 80s now. A few spots still straggling out in the upper 70s. Everybody going back to the 90s, though. It's going to be another really warm day today, and a rain chance, I think, at about 40%. Should hit around 92-ish over the interior, probably upper 80s, close to 90 along the beachfront. Same deal at the golf courses today, upper 80s, if not low-end 90s. All right, couple different areas of rain now. Want to show you what's doing out along I-75 toward northern Tampa Bay. We're starting to see some development. This should begin to move our way with some extra development over the deep interior around the turnpike, I-75. Everything again moving from west to east, kind of like this big glob is here, closing it on northern Flagler now, getting into the northwest county as it breaches that line there with St. John's. Still well south of St. Augustine with a couple trailers back behind that over the St. John's River. We're going to watch this here. He's going to move in probably toward Palm Coast here. Coastal areas of northern Flagler County. Bring a burst of rain, maybe a quick bolt of lightning or two. You'll hear a grumble of thunder for sure, and we'll continue to watch that as it makes a move in your general direction. On this Tuesday, modeling showing us more interior development, moving again from west to east. The pattern kind of changes a little bit as we head toward the end of the week with some rain development over the interior. None of this stuff blowing in from west to east, winding up on the East Coast beaches. It's all going to probably fester about the interior. A straggler cell or two might visit the coast, but it looks like between basically I-75 and the I-4 corridor, maybe as far east as the I-95 corridor, that's where we'll start to see main rain development toward the weekend. Looking ahead toward the Red Hot and Boom event, 3rd of July on the evening of 8/27 sundown. Great fireworks display out there at Uptown Altamont. Cranes Roost is the place yet again, 20 years now, and it's always a blockbuster of a show. Good stuff. So for today, we're in the 90s from the coast into the deep interior. For tonight, heading on down into the 70s from Gainesville through Ocala, Sanford 75. Same at Titusville. Melbourne checks in at 74 for tonight. In the coming 7, looks like again solid 90s for highs, overnights through the 70s. Not a lot of change. It all has to do in part as to where the rain is going to develop and where it is going to wind up, but we'll keep those chances right around 40% all the way through the holiday and into next Monday there at highs again, solid 90s. All right, couple things for you, little housekeeping. Got a weather babe, this one, Evangeline, looking good, kiddo. Love the name, and I love that kid. Look at this hunk here. Will says on his hat, hunk. I didn't make it up. It's mom and dad. That is a good-looking boy right there, guys. Thank you. MyFoxOrlando.com is the place. Check us out. Click that Good Day tab, and from there, you can see the weather baby page. Even upload your sweeties right there to our website, and we'll do our best to take it from there. Over to you.
He is a hottie. Thank you, Jamie. Time now to check on what's hot in Hollywood.
Iggy Azalea is actually talking about this one. She is blaming Britney Spears for their song Pretty Girls not being a hit.
So it's Britney's fault.
What? This weekend, Azalea told fans she is only featured on the song. She blamed Britney for not properly promoting it. Spears later fired off a tweet saying she can't wait to get back to Vegas and that she's so thankful to have shows lined up for the rest of the year. Spears ended it with the hashtag, "You want a piece of me?"
Nice. Way to fire back. All right, Forbes has the list of 100 highest paid celebrities out there, all extremely high paid, but there are some shakeups. You know, if you threw a punch this year, these guys, you're on there. Boxer Floyd Mayweather grabbing the top spot, $300 million. He got half of that in one fight. And of course, Manny Pacquiao, the guy he beat in that fight, coming in second place, raked in $160 million this year. Not bad for a weekend worth of work. Third place going to Katy Perry. She brought in $135 million. And One Direction, the whole band, came in fourth with $130 million. Howard Stern still just raking it in. $95 million. Biggest prize, though, Beyonce. She went the other way, dropping to 29th with earnings of, quote, just. And we use that loosely, just $54.5 million.
But what about what Jay-Z makes? That's what you combine the two.
Yeah,
Right.
they're combining all the members of One Direction.
Right. That's silly.
So, and speaking of Katy Perry, she is now in a battle with some nuns. She's fighting for control of an old convent. Perry offered $14.5 million to buy the Immaculate Heart of Mary Convent in Los Feliz, California. Now, the Archbishop accepted it, but the nuns argued they, not the Archbishop, have the right to sell that property. The sisters say they already accepted a $15.5 million offer from a restaurant nightclub owner.
So they're better business people, apparently.
Yeah, they got $1 million more. Well, the Archdiocese is now suing in hopes of blocking the sister's sale. But I'm wondering what she wants with a convent anyway. Would she live there?
Probably turn it into a palace or something.
Or tear it down and start over and just build whatever she wants up there. You know, I mean, it's a beautiful piece of property.
Yeah. Right.
Well, maybe she just needs to up her offer.
Yeah, right.
Well, where's the real estate agent that couldn't figure out that it had already been sold?
I don't know. I wouldn't want that job.
No.
But I would want to be one of those lawyers because they're going to get a nice
And you would want the commission for that job. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
$15.5 million. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're back right after this.
Stay with us.
Orlando, how you doing? Coming up on Wendy, the very funny Allie Wentworth stops by, and I've got you covered with all the latest juicy hot topics.
I have a bachelor's degree and I'm making $10 an hour. If you give me that apron, I will work my ass off because this is going to change everything if this happens for me.
Give it to her, Gwen. Christopher, same question.
I know I missed
You just fell in love with Shelly Flash right then and there. Shelly of Orlando on this season's MasterChef, the show celebrating its 100th episode tomorrow night.
Right. Shelly, great to see you. Just watching you see that video, it still gets you a little bit, doesn't it?
Every time. I was like, really? This is what they're gonna play? It hits me every time.
But you know what? It connects you with the viewers. It makes them want to root for you. Like, here's this girl. She has a bachelor's degree, and she deserves more than $10 an hour.
Yeah, it's hard out there, and it definitely brought me back to that moment where every word I said was true. And it's, you know, you make that transition from one career to another. Everybody knows it's really, really hard. As a single mom, it was like, wow, you know, but it's humbling. And to be there in front of all those great people, it was incredible. Incredible.
How did this all happen that you got involved in this?
Man, when I tell you, I say it's from my grandmother. I was packing box lunches with her for a fireman in Orlando all growing up. And I think being around food so much, it's a part of me. It's instinctual. It just makes me come alive. And I could talk about it from Orlando to New York to Europe. And it makes me happy. It really does.
So what are your aspirations now, Shelly, that you've been on the show? I mean, what an experience for you. What are your goals? What do you want to do?
Being on MasterChef is transformative. Right now, I would love to do cooking classes, some recreational cooking classes, so I can still be connected with the audience, you know, travel, a cookbook, you know, sky's the limit. When you have a platform like this, it's for us to give back, and that's my goal.
All right, so you're going to show us some things here. I know we don't have a lot of time, but we'll get started anyway.
You know, it's 4th of July weekend, and, you know, I'm a first-generation American from a Jamaican family, so I decided, you know, let's add a little curry powder to some simple ingredients and make a curry honey mustard sauce.
Okay.
So if you got kids at home, you can use it as a dip for your chicken tenders. You can baste a chicken with it, you know, just really simple like that. Or you can even use it for a dressing. So right now, we're gonna make it really easy.
Okay.
Put all the ingredients in. All I have is a ½ cup of Dijon.
Okay.
And you have a ¼ cup.
All right, and she's going to finish this up, but I just want to let the viewers at home know we're going to have this recipe on our website.
Yes.
Be sure to watch MasterChef. Shelly Flash from Orlando went to Oak Ridge High School. We love it when a hometown girl does good.
Great stuff.
Thanks for being with us,
Great
everybody.
Tuesday.